The actor presumed to be one of the leads cast in Ubisoft's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake found out about the game's cancellation like everyone else by reading about it on the internet. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to know what it feels like when years of your career evaporate in a second, thanks to corporate BS.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of machinima videos sitting on a hard drive somewhere. And if you have that hard drive, please bury it in a safe so we don't have to think about it. But still, you'd like to think you get like a pitiable Zoom call, or they invite you into the office and at least give you a donut before they tell you that all your time and effort was wasted. That would be nice.
Nah, they don't do that. Actor Iman Ayaz posted a YouTube video titled "The Most Devastating Moment of My Acting Career" over the weekend that most likely describes Ubisoft's rushed and inhumane cancellation of their Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake.
Yes, we have to be a little conditional with our language because Ayaz never confirmed that she's playing Farah in the remake. And even in the video, she mentions that she's still under an NDA, so it's a lot of vague posting.
Right, but according to IGN, she's reposted comments from others linking her to that role in the game, so there's a social media nod and a wink going on. We can sort of assume that that's the case, but you can't outright say it.
Yeah, and a lot of people were really excited about this. There was also a recently leaked internal presentation for the game that basically confirmed the casting, but that's also a leak, so there was never an official word that it was officially official, but basically that's the case.
So Ayaz said that after 3 years of work on the project, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, she found out the game was canceled by getting a worried WhatsApp message from her brother.
Oh man, that makes my chest tighten up. The like, "Are you okay?" that just pops up and you're like,
what did I do? Yeah.
Why shouldn't I be okay? Yeah. Apparently that's what she asked. Is something wrong? And then he sent her an article reporting on the game's cancellation, and that's how she had to hear about it.
Yeah, this came as a shock, obviously, to Ayaz, who had just filmed marketing material for the project months ago and expected the game to release this year.
He also described several sacrifices she made along the way to make this even more tragic, including saying no to other work along the way to dedicate herself to this, and coming to work on a broken foot to keep working on this project.
To make matters even worse, the NDA means that she can't openly discuss Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake at all.
The worst part is that you can't really openly grieve about it either. Like, it's just as if it never existed.
Yeah, I can empathize with that, especially like kind of we alluded to. There's years of my career that are just up in smoke because websites have gone offline, or one corporation acquired another and decided it was more convenient to just slap that delete button.
She also does offer some perspective on why the project was canceled, but it's not going to surprise you. Let me tell you. She said, quote, "Sadly, the entertainment industry is not really just about entertainment." I mean, I feel like we all know that. "It's about guaranteeing cash flow. And that means making decisions that treat people's lives as collateral damage and art as disposable content."
That is super frustrating because the Sands of Time remake should have been a fairly safe, bankable project. And I have no idea why it wouldn't be, not from a creative perspective, but from a Ubisoft management perspective. How would they lose faith in this? I don't know. But we have some comments on that too. We're getting into less verified territory even than we were just talking about. But an unverified leaker claimed the game was coming together really well before its cancellation in posts on the Prince of Persia subreddit.
Okay, user Sokram Velmar said the game was, quote, "close to the finish line, even though internal rumors of layoffs caused progress to stagnate."
I hate that, but I get it. Once word is out that the project may not, like that management is losing faith in a project, then people stop working so hard, you know? They stop really dedicating and getting things done. It becomes more about shoring up and protecting your team and protecting yourself, and everybody turns on each other and it just gets really bad.
Yeah, I'm sure that a lot of that is happening at Ubisoft right now because there's a lot of turmoil going on. Sokram Velmar clarifies in another comment that, quote, "close doesn't always mean ready," and that sometimes leadership decides stopping the bleeding is cheaper than releasing something they're not confident in, even if it hurts and feels wasteful from the outside.
Like that, but now it's starting to click a little bit. I think there's a new wave of Ubisoft, or a new wave of management at Ubisoft that only wants bankable, safe, globally proven hits. And it did seem like they were going with something that was a lot more culturally resplendent with the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. I think that might be why there wasn't a wasn't a hot white dude with a goatee as the protagonist anymore.
We need Jake Gyllenhaal back.
I mean, he got beefed out for that movie. Bad movie, but man, he's nice to look at.
A few details trickled out from the internal leak of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake that we mentioned earlier. Ubisoft intended to add 2 new locations to the remake, inspired by content cut from the original release.
That really stings. Man, this game's sounding better and better. On top of all that, the Prince of Persia Universe X account put together a slideshow of some of the concept art and screenshots from that leaked presentation. And that is still up and easily viewable, so if you want to cry over what could have been, please check it out.
And this is going to sound really callous, Lawrence, but there is a change.org petition to save the remake. And I'm going to tell you why they stopped making this remake, because that change.org petition only has 4,000 signatures.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that might be an indication that Sands of Time remake may not have been such a guaranteed sale. Ubisoft may know better. I don't think that they're a good company in the sense that they're like clearly doing a terrible job of management right now. But it's only 4,000 signatures. Let's get out there. Start signing this thing if you want Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Yeah, I guess it's one way to let Ubisoft know they may have made a mistake here. And certainly, hopefully all that work can be salvaged if they change their minds. Stranger things have happened in this world, but yeah, I agree, Bruce. I was hoping the number would have been a lot higher when that change.org petition tab loaded in. That may just be because of a lack of reach. I'm not sure. Lack of awareness, who knows? And it's also probably been a while since a change.org petition moved a whole lot of needles in the real world. But it's something, and yeah, that was a worrying sign for sure. I thought that the Sands of Time remake would be a lot more fondly remembered and fondly known. Because I thought we were hitting this moment of millennial nostalgia where everything from the aughts was coming back around. But I guess maybe not that one. Maybe it'll have to be a Rainbow Six game or something.
Well, the rumors are the Splinter Cell remake, right? And then we've got the Black Flag remake. So those are the ones that maybe might have more reach. I would assume. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say yes, they are going to have more reach than a Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. And by the way, that doesn't make this story any better. Like Lawrence has talked about, our videos at Machinima are gone forever. I'm assuming at Funhouse that's going to happen eventually. Once that channel doesn't make any money, they're going to get rid of that. So like, and it's not going to be like, you know what, we closed it out and here's a file with all the like. They're not going to do that. They're just going to get rid of it. They're going to private it. We'll never see it again. A little inside baseball for you. I had heard that when they shut down the Inside Gaming channel, when Warner Brothers bought Rooster Teeth, I think we were there, and I had heard they had basically like compiled it all. They took all the videos and they were like, we're going to upload it to the Rooster Teeth website. They may have at one point. I can't remember. Did they do that, Lawrence?
Yeah, they did. They did because they buried the relaunch of Inside Gaming under that in the press release. A moment that I have processed since then. But God, I worked my ass off to get that thing off the ground, and it got buried under. We just mass published like 1,100 videos of teenagers screaming into their webcam mics, and I was like, thanks guys, feeling real valued.
So that like this is the kind of thing that, I mean, we just on a larger scale, we saw this at Warner Brothers with Batgirl and with the Acme movie, which by the way, I think the Acme movie might actually come out. I think they sold it and they're going to try and redistribute it. But that Batgirl movie, I don't know that it's ever going to see the light of day. And this is the sad part about making art. I mean, you know, in a capitalist society and making art for a large corporation is that you don't have control over it. They own whatever it is. And so if you are like, you put your heart and soul into it and you can't wait to put out a movie or a television show or a video, you know, a YouTube video or whatever, it's owned by a corporation. That's it. They can do whatever they want. David Zaslav says it's a tax write-off better than a piece of art. Then they go, that's it. It's done. And it's really shitty, and it's happened to me and Lawrence many, many times. And this is not the last time it's going to happen to an artist. I really don't know what to say other than that. Like, because I feel terrible for her, but at the same time, it's like this is the kind of shit that you enter into when you sign all those contracts. That's what those contracts are for. And I'm not saying it makes it any better. It's just a real fucking bummer. It's a real fucking bummer all around. I would like to. I don't know. It seems like a real bad sign. I feel like even creative, even if you're a capitalist company, if you're making entertainment as a product, you still basically need R&D. You can't only take your notes from outside the company or whatever
whatever like mass market data you're seeing. It's important for not only the health of your studio and its offerings, like a product that you make may undersell or whatever, but it's important to make it to not only prove that it doesn't sell to yourself, but also to give your employees something to work on that inspires them, and they can bring that creativity back to the bigger projects. I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot of game studios succeed, even in history, but especially right now when there's more games released than ever and there's a lot of competition for people's eyeballs and attention. I don't think games companies can succeed this way, and I think that's been the story of the last 5 years of Ubisoft. Although, I don't know, I have to admit, they have made their bets. You know, it was the Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Was like the failure of that game probably led to a complete collapse of faith in that franchise. And even games that are trying to do something new or be experimental, there's no predicting the audience, but I'd like to say that they haven't tried, but they have a little bit. It's just a shame to see them give up, and I think they're signing their own death warrant.
They really did. They had the Rogue Prince of Persia too, and that didn't sell well either. And by all accounts, it's a great game. Like, I played it and enjoyed it. And it's one of those things where, like, I had seen, I think, an article in passing about how it didn't sell as well as they needed it to. And I think you know what? We're sounding very, very nihilistic. I'm going to chalk this up to Ubisoft's management again, because Ubisoft's management probably bloated these projects that didn't need to be as bloated. So each, C-suite executive is taking a 30% pay raise in stock or some bullshit if they hit some number, and then the Rogue Prince of Persia comes out and only sold 500,000 copies, not 750,000. And then they're like, well, fuck, I got to cut some employees to get my bonus. Like, that is the thing that I'm going to chalk it up to, because like Lawrence and I have been saying for years with Ubisoft, the developers at Ubisoft and at Massive have been making great stuff. They really have. They've been making good games. I mean, apart from, maybe Skull and Bones, which everyone sort of agreed wasn't very good. Generally, they're really trying over there in terms of the creatives at Ubisoft, but the management is just horrid. I don't know if you saw this article recently, Lawrence, but Yves Guillemot was coming over to the Paris. He's like, I'm going to show up to the Paris headquarters, and the employees were like, we're going to strike if you show up. We don't want you here. Yeah, they're like, if you show up, we're out of the office. And so right now, Ubisoft as a company is in turmoil, and I'm going to, again, chalk it up to the C-suite executives. I think it's pretty clear. Nobody likes who they're being managed by.
And somehow most of them still have their jobs. Isn't it weird how that works out? Yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic that a lot of good work has got to get flushed. It's tragic that the brands that people have positive and positive memories of and deep associations with get locked down under corporations that can't find a way to make a buck off of them. As usual, I guess I'll turn my hopes to the like premium indie space. Hopefully there's some passion projects cooking up right now that are evocative of Prince of Persia, and we might get to play those someday. And in a lot of cases, those passion projects, the spiritual successors, they either meet or even excel their original games that they're based on. So I'll look forward to that if it should ever exist.
I really do hope that we know some of the employees made it out of Ubisoft and made Expedition 33, and they were a massive success. So maybe that's where this is going. Not that Ubisoft is going to reclaim its dominance in the AAA space, but maybe people will just break off and make their own video games. Yeah,
and hopefully for actors like Iman Ayaz, hopefully those relationships won't go anywhere. She worked for 3 years with his dev team, formed a lot of great relationships. So when they hopefully quit Ubisoft and go make their Expedition 33, she's right there in the WhatsApp messages. Hey, are you busy? You want to come in and audition? Hopefully everything plays off and the good people find each other down the road. Hey, speaking of, Bruce, it's so good to do this show with you. I really like talking about video games every day. Value your input. And in that way, hey, this is kind of a remake of another show we used to make. So thank you for saving this remake of an old thing with your time and your viewership. That's how we get to keep making it, because you choose to watch it. So thank you so much for that. We also have some extra brave viewers, some Inside Games braveries out there that support us with cold hard cash in addition to their time and attention. And we are even more grateful for that. So we're going to say their names. That's how grateful we are. Thank you very much, Matt Bogenberger, BB Prime, Hunter Reed, Subliminal Opti, and Justin Day for the support. stories like today's, and there's been a lot of them lately, and it doesn't get any easier, but it does remind us of how lucky we are to do this. So thank you very much.